version of the Heroes of the Storm coverage for the ESL Go4Heroes monthly finals for the month of February. And Tetcher, I believe that we are Tempest Storm was supposed to be playing today, but they opted out. I believe.
Yeah, they did qualify, but they decided not. They decided not to play in the end. Now, you mentioned the fact that Valor basically the only thing she really has to worry about here is going to be Muradin. If he can lock her down, then there's a chance that Hammer will be able to kill her off. Otherwise, I think there is a chance we may see Valor going for the auto-attack build, because she doesn't really have to stay at range, because everyone else on the enemy team outranges her. She's going to have to get in range, even with multi-shot. So there is a good chance we may see her go for the auto-attack build, because that is a lot more powerful and a lot more damage, and will fit in with Tyrande a whole lot more. We'll have to see how this does go. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side, it is Team Kick Incorporated, or Team Kick Incoming. Both fit the acronym, and which makes it would fit very well with Ched. But spawning in the top lane, it is Alex the Pro G playing the ETC. In the mid lane, it is Vodafiel playing the Nazibo. And in the bot lane, it is Rolik playing the Tyrande. Tazdingo, yes, playing the Valor. And it is Sheep playing the Ufa.
And on the other side, we have Sergeant Hammer being played by Bims. Tyrhus playing the one, the only. Well,
that
I would say it looks like a Muradin. Yeah, I didn't recognize him using the Master Skin.
Because no one
Rhaegar
ever
being played by
Kane.
Yeah, Rhaegar is being played by Kane. And in the top lane, we have LGN playing the Zeratul. And I forgot the middle lane with Shiano getting himself into the Tassadar role.
Yep, and right now in the mid lane we do have two of the biggest wave clearers in the game doing battle with each other, so we'll leave them to it. They're going to be trading blows for a bit. But in the bot lane, it is the tri-lane. The tri-lane coming in from Team Kick Incorporated is purely to try and slow down Sergeant Hammer, as she will basically wreck anything if she's left unchecked. The Rhaegar going to be good at keeping Sergeant Hammer very healthy, but double support, or at least the double healing, coming in from Team Kick Incorporated will make it very difficult for Hyperactive to go too aggressive.
Well,
for that reason, there we go.
Zero's in a lot of trouble. He gets stunned, is able to dwarf toss himself right out of there, but that was rather close for Tyrus. He has to be very careful that he doesn't get hit by that chain CC, and this is something we haven't touched upon, Tetcher. The chain CC possibilities coming out of Tyrande Uther, land the stun from Uther, and then immediately follow up with the Lunar Flare coming out of Rolik. Yeah.
When they get into the team fights. And we're actually seeing the reaction from that already coming out of Hyperactive, with Sergeant Hammer starting off with the talent Resistance, which means while he's in siege mode, all silences, stuns, and slows and roots have their duration reduced by 75%. And it's a very quick and good reaction from that.
Yeah, definitely. And now, for now, Dwarf Toss from Tyrus, he's going a little bit aggressive here. Tasdingo forced to fall back, but it doesn't really matter. There are two heals on the side of Team Kick. And the only thing they gained from that one was a little bit of shrine control, but I would say that the team of Team Kick is coming out worse for wear.
They are coming out worse for wear, but they're actually trading pretty efficiently. They are losing objectives, but they are now finally managing to trade thanks to that double support, and there we go. We see the entirety of Hyperactive having to pull back, all getting harassed low. I would like to say, though, Valor is in fact going for a sort of hybrid build at the moment, starting with the composite arrow for increasing the range of her multi-shot, and then throwing in the puncturing arrow, just going for full range harass here, increasing the range of her arrow by 25%. Right now, Ciano is denying the Dragon Knight in the mid lane, with Sheep attempting to harass him out of this. Healing Ward goes down to try and help deny this longer, but now Ufa is back in with the harass. There's the continued try and prevent.
Yeah, but this one is going to be the last one, Tetcher, because Vonatil.
You can dive it.
No, it's not going to happen. There's the hammer. Here's the Dragon Knight. Vonatil, the first Dragon Knight of the game, is usually not that effective. He's just going to be dealing as much damage to this tower as he can, but he knows he's most likely not going to get more than 2 towers out of this. But then again, that's already quite worth it. And Bims, he has been forced to move from the bottom lane all the way to the middle lane, and actually is forcing Vonatil out of his dragon form a little bit earlier than he would have liked.
Yep, Ciano actually has been taking a lot of damage here, has been very low for quite a while. Dragon Knight Fire dropping him low, but he's able to back out. Spiders! Oh, the minion wave. Saving Ciano is going to allow him to be here unless they turn around. No, he's fine. Got very close to being stopped from going B there. In the top lane, LGN and Alex the Pro G have just been scuffling. trading blows. But right now, that's a lot of damage going down. But in comes Tyros. Going to try and go into the
Alex
Pro
has
G
to be careful here. He might actually go down here. Here's the Dwarf.
He's already used his dash. 5-3. It's up now. And there we go. Going to dash out of there. Just came up in time. LGN, though, going to have to be, gets the last XP from that lane, and is going to go back for some help.
Consider one thing here, and the fact that LGN, he couldn't even, the reason that the Pro G could get away was the fact that LGN was at about 300 hit points. As a result, if he would have gone in, that owl was really close, if he would have gone in, then he would have died himself, and that's something they don't want to be giving up, and it's also something that we've been seeing a lot more in these pro games. Actually, Stun now landing on the Ciano, he does have his dimensional shift, so the only thing that's going to happen is that he's forced to fall back a little bit more. Kane and LGN doing the siege camp, giving Sergeant Hammer a little bit of backup in that bottom lane. But those towers have already fallen as well. LGN now coming in. Rolix spotted the Shimmer and immediately tosses out the Sentinel, forcing LGN to dismount and do some damage to this minion wave.
Yeah, this is true. And what we were talking about earlier with the Tassadar basically filling in the role of the second ranged assassin in this composition, we can see that he has taken the static charge talent at level 7, which means that, like I said earlier, enemies that are hit with his Psystorm are marked static charge, meaning his bonus attacks do crit for an extra 24 damage for each target that is marked it does hit.
And LGN trying to not be a Mopsio because of the fact that he picked up the sustained anomaly. So even if he does miss his gravity bomb, he's still going to be dealing a little bit of damage. Kane picking up the Bruiser camp here on the top side of the map. But another thing in the top lane, look at the damage that Alex the Pro G is doing to Tyros, two of the most tanky characters in the game. Yeah. And Pro G is coming out way on top.
Muradin is pretty nice at long-range harassing. He's very good against other assassins. However, ETC, one of the best traders in the game, hang on, Ciano in the bot lane, taking a bit of harassment near the easy camp, but going to be able to back up. This Vala, very, very ability-based, is just throwing out everything, has the battle momentum as well to just allow her huge amounts of harassment. She's going to be having mana problems later in the game in those extended fights, but for now, she is pretty safe. Bottom Shrine, going to be going over to Team Hyperactive.
Take a quick look at the talents. Look at the CC.
Hang on, have a quick look at the mid lane, just very quickly. Ravenous Spirit has come down, but he's too fast. He also pulled Avatar, and that is a great skin for Avatar.
That is definitely a great skin for Avatar, but I was going to say some more, but Sheep is running straight into the landmines. Is going to be forced to back away, or is he? He's still thinking about it. He mounts up. Ooh. You see Tastingo and Rollick, they're looking for the engage there onto Kane, but he does have dimensional shift, so he's going to survive a little bit longer. Here's Vonatil without his ultimate, but Kane is here with the Ancestral Healing, will be able to survive because they couldn't kill him fast enough, and now it's a 5 versus 4 in that bottom lane. And I was talking about CC train in the form of Divine Storm, Mosh Pit, Rain of Vengeance, so this is going to happen. You can already see Pro G moving in from the side, looking for that engage here. Bims is a little bit out of position, but fortunately has to boost the rockets, so we'll be able to fall back.
Yep, nice done there, and the Lunar Flare does not land, but both shrines now in favour of Team Kick Incorporated. Sheep is just grabbing it, and there's no way that Ciano will get there in time. Instead, just starts to clear the wave and gets a couple spiders for his trouble. But that is the second Dragon Knight of the game going over to Team Kick Incorporated.
Yeah, and this is something we've been seeing in a different tournament as well, where all the Dragon Knights went to one team, but in that case, we also saw that the other team was actually winning in terms of experience and not so much objective. So I would say that the guys from Team Kick, they're doing a fantastic job, and well, it's going to be very hard for Hyperactive to actually get back into this game. They might be down just one level, but now they're also down a talent. Talents are acquired at level 13, 16, and, of course, the heroic talent at level 20. But, yeah, if we're looking at the guys from Team Kick, they are just able also to just kick people, but just...
That was actually a bad idea. He revealed where Vodafield was, and because of that, LGN was thinking about going for an ambush there, but it basically means Vodafield cannot just ult over the wall unseen because they now know where he is, so he's going to have to reposition himself if the team wants to engage. Dragonite has now reached its full duration and has expired. Team Kick thinking about going back in, but decide against it. Owl does not land on LGN. The stun does, though.
That's a nice stun.
Yep,
yeah, I have to say, those stunts coming out of Tarant are very much on point. LGN now running straight into Sheep.
Oh,
Sheep
the
has
cloak
to
as he tries to stun and misses.
him, but now Vonatil is in a lot of trouble. He has to run as fast as he can. Fortunately, he has to sprint. The Starfall coming out as well. Here's Alex Aproji jumping straight onto Tyrus, but that's not really the target they want. Although, is it? They're just going to take him down. The Ancestral Healing is going to keep him alive. Here's the Divine Storm. Proji doesn't have his mosh pit available, so this is not really the position that they want to be... the moment that they want to be engaging, although... They're just going to continue their fight. They are so far ahead. I was considering that mosh pits were like not so mosh pit. That's very unfortunate there.
We did see Vodafil there using his Ravenous Spirit from over the wall, and by that point, we'd already seen Muradin use his stun, so it was down, and he was just too far away over the wall for the Sergeant Hammer knockback to hit, so Sergeant Hammer just tried to harass him from over the wall, but ended up taking a bit of aggro himself from the rest of the team. So we see the full duration of the Ravenous Spirit go off there from the Nasibo, and that just destroyed Team Hyperactive.
Yeah, and that's something the Team Kick Incoming is going to take advantage of as much as they can. They've already taken down the middle fort. They're now wailing on the bottom fort together with some siege minions. So they might actually go for the towers and the gates near the keep. The other team, Hyperactive, is moving in. They finally get their level 13 talents. And, well, if we're looking at the talents, and I think you are a little bit more well-versed in the standard talents that are picked up. Hammer going... correction, Muradin going for the standard Hammer build in this case.
Yep, going for the standard Hammer build. However, the level 13 talent is a little interesting. It's where we see the most variation when it comes to players. There is... Oh, hang on. Vodafil. Vodafil in danger. Stun. Lands. And he will go down to the sustained anomaly from the Zeratul. It didn't even need the splash damage. He just landed a direct hit. Very, very nice there. So that was pretty cool. And apparently it is Team Kick Incoming. So, according to the chat, I just had a little peek at the chat, and people are saying it is Team Kick Incoming. Both are correct acronyms, it just doesn't say for sure on the ESL site, so incoming it is.
Well, LGN wants to go in, but it's just going to be landing a little bit of poke there onto Sheep. Dyrus now near this fort, but Kane is actually tanking it in this case. I would say that they would like to have Dyrus tank it with the shield, of course, that he has on him from Ciano, but eventually they are able to just, well, erode that fort by continuously putting pressure on it. And now they're going for the Bruiser Cam, allowing it to push a little bit in the bottom lane, continuing to apply pressure there, and then maybe they can take themselves a different objective at the same time.
Yep, and right now, one shrine is in favour of each team, so neither one going to be picking up the Dragon Knight as of yet, and we do see Team Kick Incoming taking their own Bruiser Camp, just to try and get some pressure going in that top lane and make it easier for them to defend the shrine they have control of. However, the entire team of Hyperactive is on their way to that top lane to attempt to wrestle control, and they will manage it, which means Team Kick Incoming are actually just going to rush this bottom shrine, and we're going to see the classic shrine trade that we see so often.
Yeah, that's what happens all the time on this map, switching the top shrine for the bottom shrine and vice versa. But Alex Aproji just going to put a little bit more pressure here on this middle lane, and you can already see how Team Kick is preparing to engage there in the top lane. They have a pushing bottom lane, they have a pushing mid lane, and now they can go for the fight. Ciano is in a little bit of a tough spot here. He's
stunned.
He has nowhere to go.
He found a tiny gap for his phase shift, and there is the Ancestral Healing. He's in Archon form though, so his duration will get used up. However, we did just see Rhaegar get completely wiped out thanks to the Raid Avengers. Styrus is now trapped by zombies. He will get wiped out too. Tassadar can't survive long in that Archon form. The Ravenous Spirit is now chasing down LGN. And there's the Void Prism only getting to Rod. Was not able to catch anyone else.
Another thing during this fight actually was the Shrink Ray onto Alex Brock. It was a really interesting Shrink Ray there because he wasn't dealing all that much damage. He was only stunning them for 4 seconds, and even the Shrink Ray isn't going to be stopping that. I believe that he actually hit 3 members during that fight, and it was a very, very good mosh pit, keeping so many people out of the fight, allowing Team Kick to just take out every single member one by one, except of course for Bims there, because he had rocket boost to just get out of there. Now the Dragon Knight in the hands of Rolik is going to be dealing quite a bit of damage here to this middle fort. Middle keep actually already, so that one is going to go down. The shield is not even nearly going to be enough, and Team Kick is making the most of this Dragon Knight. Small punt there onto Tyrus, not all that far, but they're immediately rotating to this bottom lane. They have the Siege Giants already in position, so this is a perfect storm for the team of Team Kick.
Yep, I'm having a look at some of the talents while they do just attempt to harass this base here. We are seeing that, I did mention this earlier, but only briefly, Muradin has gone for the healing static, so when he does jump in, he's going to have a bit more survivability combined with that stone form than he would had he taken the increased damage to single targets talent. And we do have Sergeant Hammer with the graduating range, meaning that her range will be increased by up to 100% over time. Sheep using sprint to dive in, gets 2 people with the Divine Storm, but Bims instantly boosting out of there. The Starfall is going down. LGN is backing up completely away from his team, and Fyrus is attempting to deal
look
with
at
the
Vonatil there with the Raven of Spirit straight on the Bims. He might actually go down here. One more hit. The ancestral healing actually saves him because the Raven of Spirit runs out, but they do manage to get Tassadar. Now they're switching focus onto LGN. LGN with the Void Prison is just going to be allowing himself to escape there. Vonatil just stopping Turris from mounting up, but now they're going to probably allow Kane to head back to his base. But this is a very good position for the team of Kick. They take out yet another, they take out a 1-4-0 straight here, and now they're going to take out yet another keep. There we go. Took a little bit of time to actually take out the keep, but that's 2-0. That's catapults in both the middle and the bottom lane, and that's going to allow Team Kick to shift their attention to either the top lane or just go straight for the core like we saw with, I believe, Alternate a few days ago.
It was Alternate. They did really love their base race strategies. For the meantime, though, like you said, Team Kick incoming. Very comfortable, just taking control of the map again. Shrines still got a little bit before they come back up again, so they're just going to clear the waves and grab what mercenaries they can, not taking the risk of stealing the enemy Bruiser camp, though they know the entire enemy team is up and they do not want to get caught in a rogue Void Prism that could trap them, despite the fact it's on cooldown, but it's better to not take the risk.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the previous fight and that initiation from Sheep. He lost his dragon form and immediately was like, okay, sprint, Divine Storm right in the smack dab middle of the team of Hyperactive. That was a beautiful engage there. And now, if we're looking at the team of Team Kick, they're moving into the top lane. They got themselves a Bruiser camp, and Hyperactive, they're considering to, well, they have to fight back in this case. If they decide to go for the race, they won't win it. But the issue is, they're now 3 levels behind, and their opponents have hit level 20, which means that they have unlocked their second heroic abilities. And we already see ETC with Bolt with the Storm and Mosh Pit. That is a fantastic combination.
Yep,
we see the Zebo, who has picked up the second stage of Raven of Spirit. We have to rewind now onto Rand, the increased range on the Divine Storm, so it's pretty much almost half a screen of range on the Divine Storm. And finally, Vala, you were talking about her out of attack possibly coming into play. Nexus Fury has been picked up by her, so that's going to add to even more of her range, and it's going to be very hard to catch Vala.
Yep, Nexus Frenzy is very much the standard talent to take on Vala, unless you require Bolt of the Storm for some kind of escape. Speaking of escape, we are now seeing Team Kicking coming, backing away from this top shrine due to the entire team of Hyperactive rolling it in here and taking it from them. On the meantime, they did take the Team Kicking coming did take the bottom shrine, so once again it is a bit of a shrine swap. As Rhaegar,
and again, look at Team Kick here. They are moving forward with Sheep.
Oh, the blink!
Into position. Beautiful blink there with the blink of the storm. Marshpit's coming in. Divine Hurricane hits 4. Bims is in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. The Raven of Spirit hits 2, but immediately gets stunned by Tyrus. Tyrus, in a very good position, is healing up as fast as he can with the Stone Skin, as well as his first aid. The Ancestral Healing is available. It hasn't been used just yet. Now it has been used. LGN survives. But wow, that was an amazing engage once again. LGN has to be very careful here, but survives, and he's going to be seeing the other end of the rainbow.
Yep, that was pretty cool. I would like to remind people that this is actually a best of 3 all the way through, I believe, this tournament.
This is correct.
Yep, so for now, though, during that fight, I would like to point out that this is just a show of how little...
onto Rollick, but Rollick is in position here, has the Sentinel now onto LGN, so you will be seeing whether he is going to go in.
Cade.
And immediately Dragon's Shrine, and like you said, bottom lane, Rhaegar has been picked off.
Yep, he did go down. And I'd like to point out, during the fight at the top lane, it just goes to show how little CC that Team Hyperactive do have, that Ufa didn't once use his cleanse during that entire fight. He literally, like, the only stun that came out was from Muradin, and it missed. So he just didn't even use the cleanse.
To actually get on top of that, as Team Kick is just going to be taking out this core here. They're locking up Bims, another Divine Hurricane. this is probably going to be game 1. But another thing to note was the fact that Muradin had to leave his team behind just to take out Nazebo, and that pretty much removes any sort of front line that the team of Hyperactive had.
1,000 games in this game.
Well, he probably does as well.
Yeah, he must do. But that means I like to do it. It's an achievement. And then I come across someone who's either matched my achievement, or there's someone on Beat Our Bakers who has 17. And that is just insane.
Oh yeah, it depends why you put your time into. I mean, when I was playing other MOBAs, especially when they just came out, I was playing 10 hours per day.
Yeah, this is true. I play as much as I can with other stuff going on. But for now, we will put my jealousy aside, and we are heading into game number 2 of our Best of 3 series in the round of 16 of the ESL Go4Heroes Monthly Championships. And, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side once again, it is Team Kick incoming. And spawning as the Nazebo, it is Rolik. The Ufa is once again Sheep. Tazdingo is playing the Sergeant Hammer and making some figure of 8s. Alex, the Pro G, is playing the Chen, and Vonafil is going to be playing the Tassadar.
And on the other side, we have LGN once again playing the Zeratul. We have Bims playing the ETC. Kane is on his Rhaegar again. Terrace now on the Tyrant. And finally, in the bottom lane, it is Ciano. Instead of playing his Tassadar from last game, is now playing the Vala. And did he really try to get through that wall there, or was that just a little bit of bad pathfinding?
I don't know who you're talking about. I was busy looking at where the owl was going.
Owl? I don't know.
The owl went top lane, and it scouted that there was no one going for the shrine. Instead, we saw Team Kicking coming, just hanging around, getting ready to start the 3-man push on this top lane.
So let's take a quick look at the initial talents before all the fights break out. So we have Regeneration Master now onto Chen, which is something that we've been seeing a lot more of, the Regeneration build. Although, speaking of Chen, Tyrus and LGN, they're sitting here to the side. There's Luna Flare. A little bit of damage there onto Alex. Alex trying to get out of there, but he should be tanky enough to survive this. But LGN taking a few too many tower shots. It's going to be forced to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, he is able to heal up. And you mentioned the Regeneration Master build. We also have the Conjurer's Pursuit coming from Tassadar and Ufa. So those 3 are going to be fighting over health globes a lot. Yeah,
but on the other hand, if you do take 1 health globe together, you actually get 3 of them. So that's
so they need to basically mean it only hits those 3 to get all dem stacks. And we also have the Death Ritual.
That stacks.
So we have even more stacks coming from that from Nazebo. Only his is more the murdering of stuff rather than the picking up of stuff. And then we have Sergeant Hammer, the odd one out, running the advanced artillery for that extra damage.
Yeah, interesting choice here by Tazdingo, especially because last game there was a lot of CC and they picked up the anti-CC talent. In this case, though, there's also quite a bit of CC in the form of Tyrus, in the form of ETC. Maybe not all that much CC that's probably going to be directed at Tazdingo per se, because of the fact that Nazebo is also in the game. Tazdingo has to be a little bit careful though, but he has to blow back there.
Yeah, he's also pulling off some mad dukes of repositioning himself in the bush to try and dodge the Singularity Spike coming out from Zeratul. Sheep beginning to play a bit further forward, because while this is going on, Rolik's been holding the shrine very comfortably, not going to have too much trouble.
This might be a little bit too far forward. Bims is moving in, LGN is moving in, Tazdingo in a lot of trouble, will be forced to boost straight out there. Now Sheep is all alone, doesn't really have any of his teammates nearby, so he's going to get body blocked. That's the end of Sheep. And that's 1 kill going over to the team of Hyperactive.
Yep, this does, however, they do get a bit of an XP jump from that kill. However, it did leave the mid lane open a bit, so Alex the Pro G was the only one getting XP from that. However, Kane has come back, didn't actually lose that much XP from that, so his team still going to net a pretty decent XP advantage out of this. In the meantime, Vonafil and Ciano have been trading. Ciano coming off much worse, and he's had to go back to base.
Now, if we're actually looking at what Sergeant Hammer is doing here, picking up a second ability that works so well with the range coming out of Tazdingo, Mills from Shells allowing basic attack range to be increased by an additional 20%. And now Bims is going to call him some help from Ciano, but Ciano has to be a little bit careful there because he took so much damage just from showing himself. 1 multi-shot, definitely not worth its rate.
Bims playing very far forward here, but having to back up due to the Tazdingo harass. Tazdingo, though, unsieging, he does realise there are 2 people here, and he is but a Sergeant Hammer, and his boost is not up for another 18 seconds, so playing a bit further back out of siege mode for now, so he has some more escape. He does have first aid, but obviously not willing to risk it, and here we go, here's the engagement. Tazdingo does get slowed by the Totem Sheep, stunning ETC, and Zeratul joining the fight in time to do absolutely nothing but get knocked back, so they will back up as a team together.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, Rolik has already started up this Bruiser camp. Actually resets it because it was a little bit out of range here. Alex Aproji, Tazdingo, and Sheep are moving in, so they're going to get themselves a little bit of a push going in that top lane. And I would imagine that they are going to be rotating over to the bottom lane just to make sure that they get that bottom shrine that is about to activate.
Yep, and having a look at some of the talents while these teams both do take their mercenaries. Once again, we see Tastar running with the static charge, getting that extra damage down so that he can be a bit more effective in the team fights. We'll have a look at the damage chart as this does go on to see how that is working for him. Does Oracle as well to see these
look at the bottom lane here, by the way. Kane and Vonatil already starting with the initial fight here. The Guardian has awakened, so that one is going to be dealing some damage to Kane. Not all that much, but Vonatil is still in the area. He wants to take over as fast as he can, but he doesn't really have any backup from his team, so all he can do right now is harass, while in the meantime Sliced Hammer and Uther are in the top lane. Vonatil in a lot of trouble. The dimensional shift is not going to be able to save him.
Shield is down. He is going to get some health, but it's not enough. Gets owled and shot in the back by Ciano. And this is going to allow Team Hyperactive to go very hard push on this bottom lane. And they might actually get a fort from this with the help of the tempo. In fact, they're definitely going to get it. In the meantime,
on the flip side, though,
yeah,
I would like to say, this is something that basically the sacrifice from Tastar is the reason why they were able to get this fort, and they're going to get a nice push here with the Bruiser camp. This bottom lane, they only managed to actually take out this fort here, so it's a nice trade there.
Mr. Tekno Link, I would like to draw your attention to the Nazibo ultimate decision.
Wow.
That is a gargantuan. Sheep getting engaged upon, but he cleansed himself perfectly there to avoid that lunar flare. Very
now
nice
I understand
there.
why you were saying,
yeah,
I think that's a mistake.
If mistake or not, it is interesting. We actually see ETC with the stage dive as well for some good engagements and some relocations from shrine to shrine. And Valor is running the full strafe here just to get that huge amount of extra damage out. Combine that with Ancestral Healing might be pretty effective because there's very little CC to stop strafe from the side of Team Kick and Coming here.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing they have is Uther and maybe the knockback ability coming out of... No, they have 3 ways at the moment. They have the knockback from Slice and Hammer, they have Uther stuns, and they have the barrel coming out of Chen as we expected.
Yeah,
and that's mostly because of the fact that...
only CC.
Yeah, but that's mostly because of the fact that Earthstorm Fire was actually nerfed a few patches ago. And as a result, you don't see that ability all that often anymore. And to be honest, I really like how this siege is going here for the team of Team Kick incoming. And I don't think that Hyperactive can actually do anything about this siege unless they go all in with perhaps the stage dive coming out of ETC.
Yeah, well, Blims is coming in. He can dash in first and then use the stage dive for any kind of chase. And it looks like what he's going to do. There is the heal just to give his team some movement speed and knocking back to counter any kind of early engage. Neither team dropping any ultimates other than the Napalm, which is always off cooldown, just for that extra damage. We haven't yet seen the Gargantuan been thrown down. Cannot wait to see how this is used in the fight, or at least how effective it will be.
I can imagine that they're going to be using the Gargantuan to make their push happen. Basically saying, late game, okay, we're going in now.
Or he could use it to fight these temples pretty effectively, actually. He's currently using zombies, but looks like he doesn't actually need it for the moment. Level 13 talents have been picked up from both teams. We're seeing Relentless on ETC and on Chen. ETC, I'm not sure why.
LGN here, Sheep has to be very careful here as Bims is coming in. Fortunately, he has some
nice
Divine Hurricane goes out. LGN is forced to blink straight out. Her Bims is right in the middle of the team, but he doesn't have the much speed. And oh my word, he used the stage dive to get out of there, but it wasn't quite enough. Now they're on to Tiras. Tiras doesn't really have anywhere to go. There's another kick to the face, although the beautiful Void Prison there coming out of LGN. After being taken down so low, he does add to the team fight by saving his team by locking up everyone on the side of Team Kick. On the other hand, though, Team Kick is like, okay, whatever, we're taking the middle shrine.
Yep, and we did see the Gargantuan get thrown down there, and it did throw down a little bit of damage. We also saw an amazing barrel coming out of Alex the Prodigy there that completely interrupted the strafe and massively separated Tyrande from the entire rest of the team, so it was very difficult. Sheep, however, once again getting caught out away from his team, once again cleansing himself from that Lunar Flare. Very, very solid cleanses coming out from Sheep here this game, but still getting himself caught again. Little bit risky. But yeah, the barrel was pretty effective there. It did interrupt the strafe and worked very effectively.
It's very, very good what Team Kick is doing right here, and although they lose a little bit more in terms of structures, they do have I believe they have the structure advantage in terms of towers, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, again, did we see the Gargantuan in that last fight? Yes, we did.
It just didn't really do much.
Yeah, exactly. That's the result of Gargantuan's AI. It's not... I believe you can't control it yourself.
I think you can direct it. I'm not sure. I don't use it, so I'm not one to talk about it. I'm going to have to play it just so I can talk about it now. But for the moment, I'm just having a quick look at the damage tab. And at the moment, we can see that Tassadar, his static charge is working very effectively, putting him on par with Sergeant Hammer in the damage tab. Nazibo, however, very, very low in the damage tab, and this is something that we are seeing, possibly due to the Gargantuan. It may have been a misclick. We may be doing all the speculation for nothing, but we will see. However, we do see that the entire team of Team Kick and Coming have been doing a very good job when it comes to the siege damage by just wiping stuff out. On the side of Hyperactive, though, most of the hero damage is being very reliant on their Valor.
Yeah, that was to be expected. Vala, of course, being one of the assassins with... Oh, here's the stage of incoming Bims looking for the engaged trail to Vonatil. Vonatil getting stunned, but he has a dimensional shift. He will be getting out of there. Alex the Pro G is like, okay, you're going to fight? I have a barrel, so it's not going to happen. Nice block there on the strafe. Oh, actually, it wasn't the strafe. The strafe wasn't right there yet. The Divine Hurricane coming out. The end of Rhaegar is near, but the strafe wasn't dealing all that much damage because of the fact he was Vala was so far away from the fight. Now Bims and Ciano, they're going to get chased down by Vonatil and Alex the Pro G. Although, Vonatil has to be careful here. Forced to pop his dimensional shift. Bims down in love trouble, gets annihilated. Now they're on to Ciano. The stun doesn't quite land. And although it didn't really matter, Vala going down. LGN now going down as well. Alex the Prodigy immediately jumping straight onto this fort. And it was a beautiful team fight for the team of Team Kick.
Yep, and Alex the Prodigy has been doing a fantastic job here with zoning Valor. He's basically been jumping onto her every single time and just holding her back. Combine that with the shield he gets from himself and the shield from Tassadar, and he's been surviving this entire time, even when a lot of the heals from Ufa have been going on to other members of the team. And just having a quick look at him, let me click on him. He's currently got a bonus health regen of 24. I wish I could click C and see full stats in an observer form so I can see exactly how much health regen he has. And obviously his health regen is being boosted by hang on. It's being boosted by 20
balance.
Yeah, by 30. I was thinking by how much, but yeah, 36 health regen extra per second. So currently he has an extra 64 bonus health regen per second when he has full brew.
Now for now, look at the power that Team Kick has. They are so far ahead, they're just going to get themselves a second shrine. And that's 2 out of 2. And just look at the base defenses crumbling in front of the, in awe of the laser coming out of one of these temples. So, yeah, Team Kick now in a very good position. They aren't going to be getting a keep off the back of this one, but they're going to be able to set up for taking one of those.
Yep, having a look at some of the other talents in the game, we can see that Chen did in fact take the pressure point at level 16, so despite it not being a root anymore, the slow is still pretty effective, and 90% slow for 1 second is still pretty effective at locking someone down enough for your team to kill them off. And we do have Tassadar going with the double dimensional shift ability, meaning that he can get out of he can get double healing.
Oh, we're going to see another fight here as Team Hyperactive is moving in from the side. Bims immediately jumping into the fray, but can't really get himself onto the capture point to, well, stop these siege giants from being captured. And, also, crisis averted as both teams decide to fall back for now.
Yep, neither team wanting to engage fully. Team Kick and Coming will be very much more willing to engage here, but going to be a little more cautious about it as they do not want to throw away their lead. So for the moment, both teams just hovering around looking for their opportunity to try and deal with this. And yep, this Siege camp will continue to put some pressure on, while the rest of Team Kick incoming have actually just moved to the mid lane to try and draw attention away from these. LGN looking for his opportunity to see if he can pick someone off here, but does not want to get just caught out by a rogue Oracle, and then engagement from Chen. It could put him in some serious danger. Does blink in onto Rollick, but the Tastar shield just tanks those singularity spikes.
One thing that was just mentioned in chat and actually makes a lot of sense, picking up the Gargantuan because there are so many stuns on the side of the Hyperactive actually makes some sense.
It's very likely, but it's the fact that sometimes you just have to take the risk of just doing it the other way because it's so difficult to... It's just so difficult to make the Gargantuan be useful because its AI is, well, dumb as bricks.
Well, that makes it very suited for me, that's for certain. For now, though, it is the guys from Team Kick incoming who are going to be picking up this Bruiser camp with ease. And the fight over the middle shrine is going to take place in just a few seconds. Bims and Ciano are already on it, so they are going to get the first shots. But, speaking of shots, there's a stage dive straight to Last Dingo. He's in a lot of trouble. The CC train is right there, but the cleanse is going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer. And now the barrel is going straight into the Void Prison. So that's a lockout for a few seconds. Kane in a lot of trouble. He will fall in just a few hits there. And it is the Team Kick who are going to take control of this fight.
Yep, and now Gargantuan actually being pretty useful, keeping vision of the rest of the team and actually doing a bit of zoning when it comes to Tyrande and Zeratul. There it goes, finally expires. But like you said, Barrel was very effective. We saw a great cleanse once again from Sheep onto Taz Dingo in order to keep him alive. However, ETC just has so much follow-up CC that Taz Dingo got very low there in that Starfall and had to boost out of the fight. But good survivability. LDN having to blink out actually got hit while trying to be from Sergeant Hammer there, and now has to back out. But he's back to pretty much full health thanks to his first aid.
Yeah, and the continuation of the lasering of this middle keep is there. It's down to about 75%. We're going to see 5 more shots. That brings it down to half hit points. But yeah, Team Kick looking for a nice 2-0 victory. They're about to hit level 20, which means they get their second heroic abilities, and that's a huge advantage that they're most likely going to use against the team of Hyperactive. They hit level 20. Let's see what types of heroic abilities they decide. Nexus Fury, the Divine Hurricane upgrade, Twilight Archon, the Hardened Shield to reduce damage by 75%, and the Gargantuan now lasts until kills instead of timing out. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and what we saw there was just Alex the Pro-G standing just out of fort range, but just in range of any enemy abilities, and just brewing. Now that has the double effect of, one, tanking anything, like for example Valor's auto-aiming puncturing shot, and just taking all of the aggro from that, and it has the secondary effect of completely demoralizing your opponent.
Oh, here stage dive straight to Tasdingo. Tasdingo has to boost out, but he's going to get stunned a few times. Nice Void Prison there, locking out Volatile and Sheep. The Incest Railing isn't enough. Vala just gets wiped, and this is a horrible position for the team of Hyperactive. They're going to get wiped. Kane in a lot of trouble. One more hit, that's the end. It's an ace.
I'm pretty sure the Gargantuan got that kill.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Gargantuan got that last kill, but yeah, perfect engagement there. The one hope that they had were those 2 people in the Void Prism, but the second the Void Prism ended, instant Divine Hurricane from Sheep, just wiping out any resistance that was left from Team Hyperactive. Once again, Alex the Pro-G doing the demoralizing barrel of, I'm going to tank literally anything, including your core. There's the GG, and the game goes over to Team Kick incoming. And they will move on to the next round. Very well played.
Yeah, and in that next round, they're going to be facing off against ESC, which is a team from Germany, and it has